Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kiera. Today I'm going to give you a little mini story time on how I was asked out on a date, but then he changed his mind. Okay y'all, so I had to put my glasses on because I cannot see. But anyways, let's get into the story time. So, we're going to call him E. So, I knew E back when I was in high school. So we ended up going to the same church. We was in the same youth group. We all just always hung out. It was like having extra brothers and sisters, which was real cool. And I guess he had a crush on me back then, but I didn't necessarily realize it. I was pretty slow. I was pretty slow. I think at one point, just him and I, we did go out to the movies. At the time, I didn't consider it as a date. I just thought we were hanging out. When I was in high school, I wasn't thinking about any of these things. So, anyways, that was like our previous interaction, right? So I graduated high school in 2014. Been out of college for a hot minute now. So I honestly have not seen E since I graduated high school, I believe. But we follow each other on Instagram. Just kind of how you do with other people, to peek in or, show love, say hey, every so often. And so there was a period, I remember, I don't really think we said anything to each other. Not like we had beef or anything, but that's just the way that it was. And then, he would say hey, I say hey, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. And so it wasn't until like recently, like the beginning of this year, that he would kind of message me a little more often. So as far as like the timeline, beginning of the year, I'm a little fuzzy on because I remember first of all, he would react to my stories, right? I really don't pay no attention when any guy do that because first of all, it doesn't impress me. What am I supposed to say to it? So he would have that type of behavior, but then I remember he messaged me Happy Valentine's Day. And I was like, okay, that's cute. I just said thank you and I kept it pushing. You know what I'm saying? Then my birthday is in March. So my birthday is March 10th. And when I was growing up, spring break always happened. I have a younger brother and his spring break, was around the same time. So my mom had actually texted me and said, hey, that they was going to be in Dustin and I could come with them for the weekend. Well, Dustin is 7 hours for me. My birthday was on a Friday. I'm not taking off of work. I only had Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday to cut up before I went back to work on Monday. So I wasn't spending most of my weekend driving, hanging out with my mama and my little brother. I wanted to hang out with my friends. So, coincidentally, like right after that, he had messaged me and asked me if I wanted to spend a weekend with him in Destin. Now, let me back up a little bit because I think it was before that ask where he travels for work. And so he was in Tampa at one point, right? He was like, hey, I'm going to be in Tampa to the end of the week. Maybe we can get together, maybe like Saturday. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I'll let you know. I'll keep that in mind. I think it was like Friday came and I messaged him and I was like, hey, we still good for tomorrow? Now that could have been on my part. But I was like, hey, we still good on tomorrow. And since he didn't hear from me, he said that he checked out the hotel, but he'll be sure to hit me up whenever he comes back to Tampa. So then I think that is when he asked me about going to Dustin shortly after that. Mind you, I don't really know much of this person. At least 10 years has gone by. So, I'm not comfortable with that. Once again, I also was not driving, X amount of time to go spend the weekend with someone. I'm not necessarily sure how I would feel or how the vibes would be, friends or not, you know what I'm saying? So, I just, he said, you let me know if it's a no. And I was like, yeah, that's a lot to ask for me. I'm a pass. So, that was that. So, he gets notified again that his job is going to be coming back to Tampa, or he'll be here for a job. So he tells me we set a date. When we set this date, it was like a month or so, like a month and a half in advance from that date. So I'm pretty busy. I work a 9 to 5. I also have a graphics business. That's what I do a lot on the weekends, squeezing in content. It's like, even with my friends, we got to get on the schedule. We got to get on the schedule. So okay, so as it's leading up to the date, right? We're chit-chatting, nothing like too deep of a level, but he is asking me like engaging questions or just like informative questions where he's just trying to like get to know me and see certain things that I like. So I remember when he asked what my ideal first date would be, and I asked him in return what his ideal first date would be, and the plans were to combine them together for our date. We were supposed to spend the entire day together, which I thought was gonna be real cool. You know, it seemed like he wanted to go out and about, do some sightseeing, maybe a little bit of light shopping or something, grab a lunch, and then the plans was to later go back to his Airbnb where he was going to cook me dinner, and we'll probably like watch a movie or something. Like a really chill, low-key day. So, you know, I was kind of excited. And actually, yes. So actually, when he hit me up and told me that he was going to be back in Tampa, yes, this is when this conversation was happening. But then last minute, his job sent him somewhere else, right? So I was a little bummed out. You know, I was looking forward to it, you know, whatever, catching up. But, you know, whatever, cool. But this time he's going to be in Florida, and he was just going to make a trip specifically for our date. So he was working somewhere else, but he was going to travel specifically for our date. So he's like, should I get a hotel or Airbnb? What side of town? You know, should I try to get a spot at? Yada, yada, yada. And at some point, he asked me, like, what are my, like, intentions, or my expectations, rather. So, you know, basically he gave me 3 options. He was like, are you looking to be friends with benefits, or do you want a relationship? Now, I post the anonymous message thing on my Instagram when I get bored. Everybody does it. And so, I hate doing it though, because that's when dudes try to shoot their shot, and it's really annoying because how come you just couldn't be man enough to just do it with your identity attached to it? But he was like, I want you to come visit me. So this has came up before, and I knew exactly who it was. So when I posted it, I was like, book the flight. Like, I don't know, just, it's not that I'm trying to be a city girl or nothing, but you can't keep saying that you want to see me or you want me to come see you. Do something about it. I don't know. I don't know. That's just me. I think with anything, I'm just kind of like, if you say you're going to do something, do it. If you want to do something, do it. If you want me to do something, do it. Like, if I want to see a friend or a spouse, I'm going to make way to go see that friend or that spouse. If I want to build my business, I'm going to find a way to make time to set aside doing things for planning and marketing for my business. I'm not just going to keep telling someone that I'm going to do something and then don't do it. That irritates me. So he was like, I want you to come out. Okay, book my flight. So, anywho, he comes, he says that he's going to come to Tampa just for that day to hang out with me. So the options were friends with benefits, or relationship. I know why I brought that last part up. It's because at that time, I told him I wasn't looking for a relationship, and I don't do long distance. He lives in another state. And he agreed. So fast forward, I told him, I was like, well, I thought, you know, that we were like on the level of friends. You know, but the last couple days I feel as if you want something a little more. So he basically responds and weighs his like pros and cons of each one, but then at the end of the day said that he's cool with either 3. But he also said that he's not interested in dating his friends. He'll hang out with his friends, but not take them on dates. So I followed up and I said, are we going to hang out or are we going to go on a date? Because I would like to go on a date, only because that has been an expectation for I don't know how many months at this point. So he says, let me think, with the little emoji. Let me think. So I knew from that point. So he comes back and say, you know what, let's rain check. And then basically broke down that if I am not as mutually interested in him romantically, then he doesn't feel comfortable taking me out on a date. I told him I respect his decision, but I don't understand it. Because if that is the requirement to take me out on a date, where was that requirement months ago when you asked me to go spend a weekend with you in Destin? I don't know, that was just so confusing to me. Like I can't get mad at you for making your decision because that's your decision. And I actually told him, I was like, you know what, I respect it, even though I don't understand it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not mad or nothing, but it just didn't make any sense. If that was the case, you should have vetted that a long time ago before you even got this far. So literally, it was like days before we were supposed to have our date. Mind you, I put this on my calendar. I usually do some of my maintenance appointments on Sundays. Like I got my hair done because I'm going to a wedding. I usually get my nails done on Sundays. I'm usually grocery shopping on Sundays. Like I literally shifted everything that weekend to accommodate, you know, dedicating my time with this person for us to hang out, have a good time. You know, if we vibe like that, then we vibe like that. But, you know, anyways, just for you to cancel days before. I even bought an outfit. Like, granted, that's probably wasn't going to compare to the amount of money that he was going to dish out as far as, you know, like the date and getting here. But, you know, as far as like my part that I've already put into it, I'm just like, well, dang. So, So I just recently did my try on haul. If you have not seen it yet, just go ahead and click the link. Maybe up here. Go ahead and click the link. Check that out. Let me know which outfit is your favorite. But I bought multiple dresses and a couple matching matching sets from Fashion Nova. And one of the dresses I intended to actually wear on our date. But anyways, I did a version for YouTube and I did a version for TikTok and Instagram, right? So I posted it before I posted to YouTube, and he responds and says, why are you so fine? I was like, my parents did a good job. What you want me to say? And he was like, yeah, I guess so. And then he's like, how you doing? Oh, you mean how I'm doing on the day that you were supposed to take me out on a date, but you changed your mind? Y'all, that is it for my mini story time of how I got asked out on a date and then he changed his mind. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel where you will find all things truly me. Until next time, bye guys.